Good afternoon. This is Chris Brecher with a simpler stock free video for July 15th, 2016. So you can see it's about 9 minutes after the bell. I was helping out a lot today in the chat, so we're getting this out a little late. Just so you know, today was all about the banks and the airlines. ES is up 10, NASDAQ up 27. Russell selling off down 70 cents. We'll get into that in a minute about the implications of that. Bonds starting to get crushed down $1. To almost $2, gold down almost 10. Curious relationship between bonds and gold, which I'll go to, after in a minute. Crude having a little bounce back, only up 69 cents. Advanced decline, sort of moderately, just up 4.15. That's about it. So we had the Nikkei up a little. Transport's up 85. You would have thought they'd be up 8 million with Delta and all the other airlines going nuts. And put to call ratio really low at 69. That means that there's too much complacency out there, or it's too many people actually looking to buy calls, not buy puts. That's a potential bearish sign in here. Now, to give you an idea about here of what I'm looking at, there are a lot of people, including me, that think the ESs need to sort of calm down a little in here. As you see, extremely overbought. Second thing in here, you need to understand way over its 9 EMA. Now, we've had talks with other people in here and clients that have wanted to short just because it's that far over its 9 EMA. You have to have more reasons than that. That's a good way to get yourself hurt. Can't do it like that. You have to have more than some reasons. But the theory we had, and this is like I said of what I thought also, was that the Russell needs to outperform. Now, I know it looks on here like it's at a new high until you put it on a weekly chart. And you realize on a weekly chart, check this out, and you realize how far under it is to an all-time high compared to the ESs. Now, usually when the ESs go to an all-time high like this and have this straight-up move, leads to a lot of speculation in the smaller areas. Now, the reason the Russell has been down and underperformed, not down, but I mean underperformed the ESs is because in a low-growth environment and a low-yield environment, I mean a low-interest rate environment, people are going for yield. They're not going for the growth stocks. Now, if we keep going up, I think this starts to reverse. Now, the next thing you have to look on here is something like a Caterpillar. We might have low growth around the world, and you think Caterpillar should be going down. Why is it 80 and not 70? Yield. 77-cent dividend. Guess what that is times 4? You're up to over $3 dividend, 308 right there. Well, 80, you're almost a 4% yield. At 70, it's almost a 4.5% yield. Got to understand that these stocks are not going to go down if you have interest rates negative around the world. Just go and buy right at Caterpillar for the next 10 years, and you'll get a better yield than you would in a savings account or in some of these foreign stock account, bond accounts. That's why the whole market's going up, that kind of theme. Now, I would expect these to start selling off a little, bonds to start selling off, and people go into the growth stocks. The reason I'm harping on that is what happened here in the last hour. You have the ES is up here. Look at it on a 15-minute chart. Still up for the day, up 1075 like you see right here. On the other hand, look at the Russell, what it did the last hour. Straight down and actually closed down for the day. Now, if this starts, look where it is. It's actually where we were Thursday morning. That's like the ESs being at 2145. So don't think it's beyond the realm of probability for us to sell off a little in here. In fact, let me be sure I'm doing that right. Yeah, exactly. That's like this going down another 13 points to catch up with the Russell. So I'm definitely going to be watching that the next couple of days to see what happens in here. Now, the thing is, what other indexes had underperformed and need to play catch-up? The other one in here is the NASDAQ. NASDAQ on a daily looks like a new high. Very similar to the Russell in that it's not at an all-time high. It just is on an intra, within this year. But it hasn't gotten to where it was earlier in 2015. For that to happen, you have to get the FANG stocks to go up. That's the Apples of the world, the Amazons, and so on. You know Amazon has already outperformed. check out on how Apple is trying to bring up the rear here and trying to get back to this 100 level. Don't forget, you have earnings coming out in a couple of weeks, but right now, if it gets over 100, it could go back to where it gapped last time with earnings. Don't think these things are beyond the realm of probability for a simple reason. Here's another one, 57-cent dividend. That's over $2, $2.28 a year. When the stock is 90, that's yielding almost 3%. You do buy rights in Apple, every quarter, and you could get your yield up to 8 to 10%. That's why the Apples of the world aren't going down, even though it's a low growth stock. It's almost like a utility now. Basically, it sits there and it's a yield play before anything. So the whole idea is the Apples are starting to go up. Look at Google today, trying to work out this inverse head and shoulders right here at 78-minute. See that right there? That projects 35 points. Everybody laughed at me when I said that. If it does my objective, it should go to 745, which is right in this area. All I do with the inverse head and shoulders, see this little thing here? Is you take the low, you take where it consolidated, and it's a symmetrical move. Then you project that up, and that takes you up about 35 points. That's where I got 745. All those things like the Googles, the Amazons, the Facebook need to go up. And if they go up, that could help the NASDAQ go to a new high. So it's going to be very interesting to watch how the NASDAQ and the ESs react to the weakness in the Russell tomorrow. Very interested to watch. Now, just so you know, we have the $7 30-day trial going on. This includes all of this. The chat room you get from 9 to 10 in the morning. Premium videos a lot more in depth than what we're talking about. And the email alerts. Email alerts, if you click on that, you can elect to get every chart I post on stock trades and chart ideas. A lot of them have worked. Index and futures charts, they've been right on too, especially the special one about gold right at the top. And crude oil. Unusual options activity in here. A lot of times you click on that and I don't put out 50 a day. I think it's really disingenuous to go and put out 50 option trades a day. One of them works, and then the option service brag that, oh, look what they found. You're not going to be able to act on 50 different ones. You want to find the ones that are going to work. And I put not that many a week, but their track record has been pretty darn good. So one other thing I wanted to mention in here, because I promised I'd mention it, is the curious relationship between bonds and gold. If you don't think these are correlating, then maybe we're looking at the wrong things. Check out these stocks. I bet you thought I put the same thing on both sides. Tremendous amount of correlation in the last 3 months in these. So I would watch gold and bonds for direction. If one of these rallies before the other one's probably going to rally as well. So I hope everybody's enjoyed these videos. Like I said, I will be with you tomorrow. Have a great night, and we'll get them tomorrow.